Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. As-salatu was-salamu ala Rasulul Kareem. Amma ba'd. Dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today we're going to focus on a short nasiha, looking at Juz 5, Surah An-Nisa, verse 24 to its conclusion. I've chosen 3 verses which I think are important in our current context, and I think ones that we need to perhaps think about a lot more and look at how we can implement. The first is verse number 36. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, "Worship Allah and associate nothing with Him, and to parents do good, and to the relatives and orphans, the needy, the near neighbor, the neighbor further away, the companion at your side, the traveler, and those whom your right hand possess. Indeed, Allah does not like those who are self-deluding, boastful." So here, for me, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving us the foundations of what a community, of what a society should look like, and what are its fundamental principles. The first being, of course, Tawheed, worshipping Allah and not associating any with Him. And then, of course, being good and kind to our parents, our relatives, and it expands, to the orphans, to the needy, to the traveler, to our companions that are at our side, and so on. So I think this is really, really important in a time and at a place where we are pretty much very much individualistic. We always looking out for ourselves. We're not really looking out for each other. That neighborly, that love for each other is not really there. And this is something we need to revive in our society. The second is verse number 69, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, "And whoever obeys Allah and the Messenger, those will be with the ones upon whom Allah has bestowed favor of the prophets, the steadfast affirmers of truth, the martyrs, and the righteous, and excellent are those as companions." The reason I've chosen this verse is I think it's a very comforting verse, and it's something that we really need to remind ourselves on, because there are many challenges that we would face in trying to do the first thing that I mentioned, which is just being kind to our parents and building a society that looks after the orphans, the needy, the poor, the traveler, etc. You're going to find many challenges, and it's going to be hard. So you need something that will give you a boost. And Allah says quite clearly, if we believe in Him and we obey Him and we obey the Messenger, then our reward will be like those of the prophets, of the shuhada, of the siddiqeen, and what could be much better than that? And so it's a very motivational and empowering verse. And the final verse I've chosen is verse 135, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, "O you who have believed, be persistently standing firm in justice, witnesses for Allah, even if it be against yourselves or parents and relatives. Whether one is rich or poor, Allah is more worthy of both. So follow not your personal inclination, lest you not be just. And if you distort your testimony or refuse to give it, then indeed Allah is ever with what you do acquainted." Okay, so this really is the essence of justice. Okay, as you know, our theme this year is reviving divine justice, and I think one of the ways that we need to and we can revive divine justice is practicing some of this ourselves, and it's really important. So if we are believers and we want to stand firm in justice, then it has to be regardless of who it's against, even if it's against myself, even if it's against my parents, my relatives, even if it's against someone that is rich. Okay, we often hear justice is bought by the rich. We see in many countries how justice is corrupted, whether it's here in the UK or in the Muslim world. Okay, so justice, if we really want it to be something that is achieved and something that is revived, we have to start practicing it ourselves from our own homes. If our children, if our parents and everything see justice from us, our neighbors see justice from us, then it's something that will help build that society. And I think the 3 verses, for me, they interlink in that way. You know, we're trying to create a society, we're trying to create a community, we're going to find challenges, and so we need some you know, iman boosters. And that verse about receiving the favors of the prophets, the shuhada, etc., is that. And then really explaining, okay, what is the essence of that justice that we're trying to build? What is the essence of reviving that divine justice? So for me, these three verses work really nice in that way. Jazakumullah khair for listening, brothers and sisters. Any good that's come from this is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and any mistakes is from me only. So I ask you to forgive me if there are any, and make dua for us, and hope that, you know, we can together revive divine justice. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.